Hey gang, it is Natalie Diaz. Welcome to a live edition of Live with Nat, as opposed to those taped editions of Live with Nat. I'm not really sure. Anyway, today we are going to talk all about sleep. So basically how to create a good sleep routine for your kids, what exactly is a sleep routine, and so on and so forth. So we're going to answer a bunch of your sleep questions, and just to give you kind of the lay of the land, I am here live in New York City at our Twiniversity studio. Julie is on with us. She is over in Chicago as the wizard, as we call her. So she is going to be fielding all of the questions that you have. So if you see me look over here, it's simply because we have, I have the little computer next to me, and then the questions pop up. Hey, Diana's here. Everybody is starting to arise. Oh, Minden! Look, so we got East Coast and West Coast represented, and Laura's here too. I'm so glad that everybody is here. And first, Carrie, oh my gosh. I swear, if Kimmy and Lauren join, and Rashina, we have the entire mom squad, which is great. So we are going to be going live for the next hour, answering all of your sleep questions. Today we are very excited to have partnered with our friends over at Colgate. And if you do not know, I love me some Colgate. How many of you guys, show of paws, thumbs up, or whatever you want to do, how many of you guys have your twins sleeping on a Colgate mattress? Wow, we have people from all over the place. This is great. Hi, from Minnesota. Yikes, that's awesome. Awesome. So how many of you guys are sleeping on a Colgate mattress? If you are, I want to see some thumbs ups. I want to see some hearts. These are the things that I know, because this is how we interact, and so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, which is funny because I never feel like I'm talking to myself when I am live with you guys. Look, Kimmy's here too. I said, like, we're having the whole squad. So before we go any further, I do want to say Happy Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day to all of you out there. I would love to know how you celebrated your Mother's Day, and I'm hoping that it was pretty extraordinary. So let us know. Oh, Colgate's here too. Good. Yes, good. So if I have any of those tough questions, our friends from Colgate are on with us as well. So how did you guys celebrate your Mother's Day? What did you do? Did the Twinnies get you anything? I would love to know. It shows me paused. Is anybody else seeing me paused? Let's see. I'm seeing me live, but that's just the way that it goes. Am I still frozen? Guys, could you see me? Tell me. If you could see me, I want to see some thumbs ups, because your comments aren't freezing. So if you're not freezing, maybe I'm frozen. Look, I'm trying to see my pretty earrings today. So could you guys see? Thumbs up if you guys could see me and if I am not frozen. Julian, if I'm frozen, just send me a message, please. I want to know. I am going to go like I told you. I am going to go over here. Okay, good. All right. Thank you. Want to make sure. Yes, thank you. I was panicking. I was like, wait a minute. Am I talking to myself? So today, as I said, we are partnering with Colgate, who is on with us as well. Thanks, Jewel. Thanks for letting me know. And thanks everybody else for letting me know, because I always do worry. And for the record, just so you know, I have a child home from school, and also we're getting messages that apparently mobile is slow, and I'm not really sure why. Believe it or not, Facebook is slow. I just updated my Facebook and it gave me a minute. That was kind of weirdies. All right, so we are on. How was your Mother's Day? That's what we're talking about so far. Thumbs up as long as you could see me. Amber says that I am frozen. I actually think that the problem is Facebook. That's really weird. We're already getting some questions. Yay! I love my questions. But first I want to tell you, once again, I want to give big thanks to our friends over at Colgate. Julie will throw in a link below, and it's going to take you to their Facebook page. But Facebook, yes, Colgate. Colgate is one of my absolute favorite companies. They started in 1955 down in Hotlanta, and they just are still a family-owned and operated company, and are one of the oldest mattress companies within the United States, and they have won so many awards for health and safety that it's just mind-blowing. And what I love most of all about Colgate is, first of all, I believe that I slept on a Colgate mattress, and I discovered this after talking to my mom, but Colgate mattresses are like the gold standard in the mattress world. So good. I appreciate everybody giving me feedback as far as you guys could see me or not. So if you can't, then you may not be able to tell me. But I do want to let you know that Julie and I have just returned from the JPMA baby show over in Anaheim, California. And I want to thank all of our West Coast families who joined us. I mean, there was a lot of West Coast families, which was really, really. It was just so great to meet you guys. So thank you so much for coming out. We gave a little presentation with Meg from Lucy's List. And if you don't know who Lucy's List is, Julie could drop in a link too. You should definitely check them out. And then Allie from We Spring. So I was lucky that we had a standing room only. Literally, there were people sitting on the floor, and we were discussing mistakes that new parents make. I have an idea. Okay, I'm going to try something crazy here. Because how about that, guys? Is that any better? Could you see that? Tell me about that. How was that? Okay, good. So what I did was I just turned off my Wi-Fi in case that it was my Wi-Fi here in New York City. Now we don't have to stress about it. We could just deal with it as Verizon could deal with it. All right, so we had our wonderful baby show over in Anaheim, and we got to see our friends over at Colgate, and be still my beating heart. Alan from Colgate is one of my favorite people in the industry, and any opportunity that I get to play with their company, it just literally makes my heart sing. So I don't know if you could hear it, but my heart is literally singing. I'm singing a little lullaby. Oh my gosh. Now I'm thinking, of course, of lullabies and things that you could sing to your twinnies. So yeah, try thumbs up right now if you guys could see me, please. I want to know. That's what I want to know. It's a little confusing to me because it's paused over on my end. So let's get right in and talk about some questions, and we'll talk a little bit more about Colgate. And you know that they gave us some prizes to give away. And of course, we have some prizes to give away too. I love it. I love it. I love prize time. Okay, so in order to see the questions, I need to put on my goggles. Yes, Alan is the best. Dennis is good too. I don't want to go crazy Colgate. I'm definitely a fan of them, but Alan still is just, I don't know, there's just something unbelievably classy about that family. And so you know that the products that they make are just top notch because they themselves are top notch. And when they're making baby mattresses and their changing pads and everything else, there's so much love that goes into their products that I really can't say that for many companies in the industry. And you guys know, Colgate knows, they're on with us too, that it's so obvious. So yeah, so thank you so much. Okay, so we got our first question, and the first question says, how do you know how much sleep they need? I have 2-year-old boys, and they get 10 hours at night and a 3-hour nap in the afternoon. Only 1.5 hour nap at daycare. I actually think that that's pretty good. If they're taking a 3-hour nap at home and an 1.5 hour nap at daytime, right? So that's 13, 14 and a half hours. I think that we're pretty much on track. Are you concerned? Like why? So Diana, I have another question back for you. And I think you're asking me questions too. So I'm hoping that, that you could respond. I don't know why it's frozen. Everything seems to be so good on my end. I'm going to refresh it too, but I'm not even on our Wi-Fi here. Okay, my son just gave, remember I said I had a Twinnie home. He says that everything is frozen too. But I'm moving okay there.
It's taking a very long time.
Yeah, I know, buddy, but it's not the Wi-Fi. I'm wondering if it is Facebook themselves because we're not even on Wi-Fi. So, okay. Anyway. So what I want to ask is, my question back to Diana is, why are you concerned if they're not getting enough sleep? Are they like super grouchy during the day? How do you, like, what are your suspicions? But what you could do is next time you go to the pediatrician, and here's like the thing, like I could say, yeah, at this age they're supposed to sleep this much, and this age they're supposed to sleep this much. But typically, because I don't know how old, you told me how old they were, but I don't know how early they were, it really all depends. And truthfully, some kids need less sleep than others. And what's interesting is that even with twins, your twins may need less sleep. I know that with my kids, I have an early riser. No, I have an early riser, and then I have a night owl, right? So I have two totally different little animals. And when they were very, very young, I would put them in, and I started to see that this was happening, but I feel like I forced them into having the same sleep schedule, and then it took me quite some time to figure out that that really wasn't good because they had just different sleep rhythms. All right, I'm glad that everybody's getting fixed, thank God. So yes, so I want to say to Diana, I think that they're getting enough sleep. If you don't think that they're getting enough sleep, then maybe make their bedtime a little bit earlier. Did you tell me? No, you didn't tell me what their bedtime was, but I'm going to assume that it's around 7 o'clock because typically kids will sleep from 7 to 7. No, you cannot have any of that. Sorry, buddy. Okay? Okay, so Melanie has our next question, and she says, oh, I like this question. Hi, Nat. I'm in the middle of sleep training the twins. I tried the 5-minute method, go back, soothe him with a pacifier, still on crib. I heard you're not supposed to pick them up. But then, sometimes I notice the diaper's wet. What should I do? Melanie, here is what you can do. Did you enjoy that song? Because that's as good as it gets. So you're putting them in, and now you're trying the sleep method. Melanie, do you have twins or do you have a singleton? And it doesn't matter. You're not like thrown out of the club if you have a singleton, but I'm just curious to know if the other baby was sleeping or if it's just the one that's not sleeping. All right, the stupid diapers is right. Number one, what I'm going to say about the stupid diapers is what diaper are you using? You should consider moving to a Pampers Baby Dry. Baby Dry gives you a 12, oh my God, I'm kicking, it's like an earthquake. Pampers Baby Dry, which I think I have some, or even the Pampers Swaddlers. I had them right next to me because I was using them for our baby shower that we had a few weeks ago. But they give you 12 hours of protection. And then what I thought was really fascinating is we were talking to some cloth diapering folks over the week, and oh yeah, boys, okay, there you go. So what I thought was interesting is that I had no idea, and get ready to have your mind blown. There were so many people who use a conventional diaper, right? So they use like the traditional Pampers diaper. And then what they do for the night times is they take a cloth diaper and they put it over the diaper so that there are no leaks. I do not believe that you will need to put anything over the diaper, and this is really just a parent hack. This isn't like anything that anybody is recommending other than like my own little Twiniversity parent hacks. But what you could do is that's something that you could do. But the Pampers Baby Dry is a 12-hour leak protection, so you should be okay with that. And I'm hoping that you are able to try those out. Now, so you have only one kid that's not sleeping. Let's go back. So you're starting the training method. Now, Melanie, is the other boy, is my other little tiny boy, able to sleep through the night? Oh, Carrie's seconding my Pampers Baby Dry. So I want to know if the other baby is waking up at all and what time are you putting them down. So I'm just going to say typically when you're starting a sleep routine, and let's talk in a very general starting a sleep routine, okay? There are some things that we have to do before we even consider starting our sleep routine, okay? Number one, we need a dark room. And when I say dark, I mean like blackout shades on the windows kind of dark. And it doesn't have to be like blackout shades, but Home Depot sells these kits that you could use to cover your window. You could literally just buy some blinds, but whatever you're buying, make sure that they are already baby proofed so it's not something that you have to do somewhere down the line, okay? That's one, so dark room. Second, the temperature of the room needs to be between 68 and 72 degrees. So kind of on the nippier side, you certainly do not want it warm in the baby's rooms whatsoever. Third, you need some kind of white noise. White noise could be an air conditioner, white noise can be a humidifier, white noise could be a literal white noise machine. Those are the kind of the top three. Next thing you definitely need is you really should consider swaddling. Even at 5 months, you may want to consider swaddle. We love the Love to Dream swaddles, so take a look at those. And if you're not swaddling already, it may be hard to introduce, but it's certainly worth a try. So dark room, white noise, cool temperature, swaddle, boom. Now we've set the stage for sleep. I believe that you should start sleep training in the day. Now, if you guys don't know, I am very good friends with Kim West, who was contemplating joining us today, and I would have been super excited, but she is over in Amsterdam for a conference over there in Europe, and sadly, well, not sadly, I was like, all right, if you want to join us while you're in the hotel in Amsterdam, feel free. However, I'm kind of happy that she's enjoying herself and not here with us, but we could always get her information whenever we need it because she's, you know, a Twiniversity friend. So now Kim West and I have gone several places and have done sleep lectures. Now, Kim West is the literal sleep lady. She wrote the book on sleep training and more of a gentle method. Not saying that she won't try the cry it out method, but in general, she definitely is a little bit easier. So Kim is the originator of what's called the Sleep Lady Shuffle. And it works for older children, but it may be something that you may want to start. And I see that we're getting a question about 2-year-olds right now. So what I would recommend that you do is Kim says that you basically go into the room and that you set yourself down in the room and you wait for them to fall asleep. Once they fall asleep, you kind of shuffle yourself out of the room. If they make noise while they're there and they start to cry, you're just like, babies, I'm right here. But you're sitting down. You're not attending to them. You're not picking them up. You're not doing anything. You're basically just letting them see that they are in their little safe space and getting used to everything that's around them, okay? So that's Kim's West's method, is the Sleep Lady Shuffle. Now, there are other methods, right? So there's Weissblut, then there's Ferber, and then there's a lot of different sleep methods in between. So what you could do is some people do gradual extinction. I believe this is what Melanie was trying to say. So she puts the babies in, you put them in drowsy but awake, and then you put them in their bed and you're like, babies, I love you so much. You drop the mic and you leave the room. When you leave the room, you shut the door because we want it to be dark, even if it is during the day. Once it is dark, then what we do is we wait 5 minutes, right? Let's say we're not going to go in at 5 minutes, but if they start crying, we're going to give them 5 minutes. And then we go into the room and we're like, babies, everything is okay. There's nothing to be upset about. So we're going to like verbally comfort them, maybe shush them a little bit, but you're not going to touch them because we're not trying to be like the worst parents ever, but we're trying to teach them that they have to soothe themselves. We're not teaching them how to sleep. Every baby knows how to sleep. We're just basically letting them know, hey kids, you have the skills to put yourself to sleep. I just have to kind of teach you that. All right, so we go in after 5 minutes, calm the babies down, everything's good. We leave the room, we shut the door. Once we shut the door, maybe we have some peace, maybe we have some chaos again and everybody starts crying. If that's the case, now instead of waiting 5 minutes, we're gonna wait 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes, we're gonna go in, shush the babies, say, I love you babies, I don't know why you're freaking out, everything is okay, nothing to worry about. Then we're gonna leave the room. Maybe they'll come down, maybe they won't come down, but now instead of 10 minutes, we're gonna wait 15 minutes. And you keep extending the time between the times that you go in. Okay, now look, Rachel, I know you're asking for newborns. Think about this. Don't even worry about newborn sleep right now. Focus on feeding schedules in the beginning and slip this in once they're between 4 and 6 months. But you have to speak to your pediatrician first before you start any sleep routines, okay? So now, once you wait at a certain amount of time, so you do your 5 minutes, you do your 10 minutes, you do your 15 minutes, you do your 20, whatever you want to do. Once you get to a point where you can no longer take it, then that is now called gradual extinction. And you know the funny thing, like we were always talking in Twiniversity classes, which by the way, there's an online Twiniversity class tonight. So if you are expecting twins, we are going to literally stop everything. And we are going to give away a seat in tonight's online Twiniversity class, which I will be teaching. You are so lucky. If you would like to join us for an online Twiniversity class, all you have to do is just say, I want to come to class. It is a pretty full class. We are very limited on seats. I wish I were not kidding and that I had a bazillion seats to give away, but we are giving away 1 seat in tonight's class. Actually, it's not only going to be tonight's class. You're going to get admission into next week's class too, because I like when everybody sees everything at the same time. So if you would like to join us for class, all you have to say is, I want to come to class. This is perfect if you're expecting. This is perfect if you have tiny little babies. All you have to say is, I want to come to class, and then you will have the opportunity to win, okay? So Julie will definitely put that out there for you and tell you exactly what you need to do. Okay, now, Going back to the timing schedule, right? So we talked about the sleep conditions. We talked about the gradual extinction. The next thing that I want to tell you is, how many of you actually think that the babies could tell time? Right? Because we're like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But do you think that the babies are in there and the baby's like, oh, is it 5 minutes yet? Wah! Oh, it's 15 minutes has passed. Wah! So the timing is for you. The timing is not for the babies. The timing is for you to get yourself kind of together and giving them an opportunity to see that they could sleep for themselves. Now, the other sleep method is, oh, I'm so excited that so many of you want to come to class. The other method is the extinction, period, the end. You put the kids, you have your ideal sleep conditions, right? Put them in drowsy but awake. You shut the door, call it a day. Now, if the babies cry, you could see on your baby monitor that everybody is okay. But I always want to remind you that if the babies are crying, the babies are breathing. I don't know why this was such a revolutionary statement, but when the twins were little, I remembered that it just took this one woman, her name was Maria, and she's like, Nat, always remember if the babies are crying, the babies are breathing. And that alleviated so much stress that I felt. I was like, okay, they're crying, I could hear them. It's once the crying stopped that I would, not kidding, I would belly crawl into the room and then peek above their mattress. So this would be me. I'd like cry, doom, 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 doom. Be like, oh, babies are okay. And then I would go back to my regular business and pray that the babies never caught me, which is always so stressful. All right, guys, I want to know how old your twinnies are. So where are you from and how old are your twinnies? Throw them up now so that we could we have so many questions coming in. I want to kind of field the questions for, like, if we have everybody has 2-year-olds, I'll help you guys in a general sense instead of just one person sense. So who are you? Well, I know who you are because I can see your name. Where are you from? And also, oh my gosh, Kimberly, congratulations. I'm so excited you won tonight's class. So yes, who you are, where you're from, and if you are expecting or how old your twinnies are. Oh, how super, super exciting. Okay, so let's go to our next question. While you guys are getting all caught up, I have to pull my computer, my fancy, fancy computer. And it says, Melanie says, we did Melanie, I'm back, video pause, feed is better. All right, Caitlin. Caitlin says, I have 14-week-old boy-girl twins that seem to be on a pretty good schedule. First of all, congratulations, Caitlin. That's awesome. Now, you say they sleep 5 to 6 hours a night after their last bottle of the night. I know there's a sleep regression coming up at 4 months. Will this change once they hit the regression? Okay, so here's the scoop. Yes, sleep regression is a real thing. It's not an urban legend. Right? So you're gonna get to these peaks and valleys in sleep, but they're not really gonna sleep consistently, let's say, till they're a little bit older. You're always gonna have peaks and valleys because not only do you have sleep regression, you have teething, you have time changes, right? We have daylight savings time, which I swear it's like a punishment. You have sickness, we have vacations. There are so many things that interfere with baby's sleep routine. Baby's sleep routine. Get back to me on telling you the story about why I don't like to say baby sleep routine. It's a little weird. So there's a lot of things that interfere with it. So you always have to kind of be on your toes, but you are the ones that need to stay consistent, not the babies. Everything's going to change, but stay consistent when it comes to your sleep routine and your sleep rituals, okay? So what she was saying is sleep regression. Clearly, I'm back, even though clearly I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. Did you know that when you have people in like your favorites, then they automatically come up? So that's just what was happening. So I apologize. I'm here. All right. Everybody's checking on my boy, but he's fine. Thank goodness. Okay. So let's go back to this question. Will their sleep routine change? 9 months old, nap 2 to 3 hours. Is that the question that we were just doing? Oh no, that wasn't the question that we were doing. Caitlin, we were doing Caitlin's question. So everybody knows about a dream feed. And well, I don't know if everybody knows about a dream feed because I certainly had a school Chelsea yesterday. Who was here that was joining us yesterday for Chelsea's live feed? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's this mom. Her name is Chelsea. She has little tiny boys who are absolutely awesome little dudes, and we are very lucky to interview her once a month, or maybe even more. We're probably going to check in with her on Friday about what's happening in her baby's lives. And she's like the every mom, right? So she's staying with her mom right now. Hey, Danielle was on with us. So you guys saw that we were talking about like routines. So she's on a pretty good feeding routine, and she's so lucky, knock on wood. I'm literally knocking on wood because I'm that like superstitious. But she is not doing a dream feed. And so she's like, these babies are getting up, you know, at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Why is that happening? And I said, well, when's their last bottle? She's like, well, their last bottle is at 8 o'clock. Well, if their last bottle is at 8 o'clock, they're starving. They're like, hey, what's up, mom? I'm so hungry. So I don't think that they really sound like that, by the way, but in my head, that's what they sound like, just for funsies. So I told her that there is something called a dream feed. So what a dream feed is that you go through your whole day, right? You have your feeding schedule all night. So look, Danielle learned about it last night. So you have your feeding schedule all day, right? So you feed every 4 hours as much as possible during the day, right? And then you get to kind of the 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is you start your nighttime routine. When you start your nighttime routine, then what happens is you put the babies in, but the babies can't go from 7 to 7 yet. They need to be topped off. And I was talking to somebody the other day. It's like if you're planning a long road trip, right before you leave, you make sure that your gas tank is full so that you could drive for as long as possible. Basically topping the babies off at that 11 o'clock midnight feed or whatever, it's filling up the rest of their tank so they can make it through the entire night. So if you're having trouble kind of grasping what I'm talking about, that's the way that I want you to think about it. So a dream feed it doesn't have any of the nighttime rituals, right? It's simply that you're going to go in, change a baby, feed a baby, put a baby back. And we were looking at the questions before that were from Diana, and we were talking about wet diapers and stuff. So this is the time you want to change the baby one more time before the end of the night. So that's what a dream feed is. Okay, so let's see. We have so many questions coming up. We really do. This is so exciting. I'm so thankful. But I think it's time that we give away a prize. So if you want it to be prize time, you have to say prize time, prize time. You know how I like my prize time. And our next prize that we are going to give away is an Amazon gift card. So this is from us to you as a little happy Mother's Day. We are going to pick a lucky winner. All you have to say is, I love Amazon. I really wish that we worked with Amazon because that would be fantastic, but I am a huge Amazon buyer. I don't know if you are too, but we would happily send you a little Amazon gift card from the Twiniversity Mom Squad to you. So all you have to say is, I love Amazon. You could use it to buy diapers. You could use it to buy whatever you like, but I love prize time, prize time, prize time. By the way, we have prize time in our regular life. Oh my gosh, Colgate's involved in prize time. So we're just going to throw that out there. Julie's going to go and she's going to pick a winner for prize time. It's so exciting, and we have more prizes coming up. Before we give away our next prize, let's go to our next question. Any advice for nap schedules? 9-month-olds here and one nap for 2 to 3 hours twice a day, and the other will cat nap for 20 minutes, an hour to an hour, which was my whole day. They both sleep through the night oh my gosh, Megan, you're so lucky. First of all, everybody should say, Megan, you're so lucky, because Megan has babies that are sleeping through the night. She has 9-month-olds that are taking one nap for 2 to 3 hours and then a cat nap for 20 minutes. Now, I don't see, why are you trying to rock this boat, Megan? My gosh. I would not be rocking that boat. They're sleeping through the night for 11 to 12 hours and they're taking 2 naps. You are so far ahead of the game. It's wonderful. So Megan, are you just bragging about how awesome you are, or are you really, I don't think you need any advice. If they're sleeping and they have their nap, and what times are they having their nap? Are you giving them a 9 o'clock nap? Are you giving them a 4 o'clock nap? What's your typical schedule like? And I don't know, guys. Oh my God, I gotta reach. I don't know if you have a copy of this little book. Did anybody hear about this book? I heard it's pretty good. So this is our Twiniversity book. It's called What to Do When You're Having Two. And what I love about it is, survey says, I'm going to find this if it kills me. Okay, So if you see chapter 9 is called schedule plus sleep equals sanity. And for those of you who are talking about having a schedule and is there a schedule, I actually give you a whole schedule. Could you see that? So I break it down into a 12-hour day, and I break it down from infancy. So from the time that they come home till they get bigger. But if you look right there, boom, I have a whole schedule printed out for you guys, which is really fantastic. And it's great. So this schedule is not only based on what the Twiniversity babies did, right? So Anna and Johnny, what they've done. It's also based, we've talked to many doctors and pediatricians and sleep experts as well when we were developing this little book called What to Do When You're Having Two. So if you don't have this, you could use this for your Amazon money. I'm just saying. And if anybody has friends that are authors, the biggest gift that you could ever give to anybody, like if you ever wanted to give me a present, is you could go and review this on Amazon for me. That would just make my day. If you liked it, and even if you didn't like it, honestly, I'd rather you go and tell me what you didn't like about it, just so I could modify it again. But this book we got a little bit coming up, but it's almost going to be its 5th anniversary, and we've sold over 28,000 of these copies. I'm going to say that my mom has bought about 27,800 copies. So that's just my family. That's what we've bought. But it's out there and it's doing really well, and we're going to be making some updates. So that's very, very exciting. So one other thing that I wanted to talk about is if you don't have this book, guys, do you sense a prize time? If you sense a prize time coming on, then all you have to do is just say prize time, and we will be giving away this book. I'm looking for the other stuff that's in here, because I really do. It's so great. So what I love about this book too, I don't know if you guys realize, but we have like the mother of all indexes. And truth be told, when I'm looking for something in the book, I often go to the index. So if you would like to win a copy of this book, first of all, be patient because Julie ran out of stamps. So she's buying stamps, but just say, I want a book. And you know that all Twiniversity students who join us for online class and in-person class always get a copy of our book. And for our online class, in addition to that, you also get a package of Pampers. Isn't that nice? Isn't that special? All right, so let me talk about Colgate for just one more second. And I love, by the way, how everybody is talking about prize time. I wish my hair looked cuter today. I feel like it's all like wackadoo. I took a shower and then ran to go get one kid to school, have the other one home. It's crazy. So I don't know if you know, but Contours, they make this, not Contours, it's called the Contour Changing Pad. This changing pad is made by our friends over at Colgate and basically turns any surface into a changing table. So if you are still, like if you're registering and you're like, well, what am I going to buy and what am I going to use for a changing table? You definitely want to look at the Contour Changing Pad. And I have a sneaking suspicion that one of you may be getting one of those today. All right, so keep that in mind. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Let's go to our next question. All right, Danielle says, for newborns, I keep hearing that the twins on the same keeping the twins on the same schedule is the way to go. If they're both sleeping day or night and one wakes up, do you recommend that I wake the other one, or is it just for feeding? Okay, Danielle, great question. And like genuinely great question. Not just saying that because I don't know if you noticed this, but when anybody asks a question, they say, great question. That's really a great question. So for feedings, 100% you wake everybody up. You always feed one baby if you're going to feed the other. However, I don't know if you caught me at the beginning of this feed, but I was talking about how even though you have twins, they might have very different sleep cycles. One may be an early bird, one may be a night owl. It's really hard to tell. When they're infants, you might get a glimpse into this pattern and say, okay, well, you know, baby A likes to sleep late, but baby B likes to go to sleep early. So it really, really depends. I know that having an early riser is a way to take an opportunity of one kid, right? Because we're dealing with these twinnies all day long and they're always in like a herd of babies that, let's say we put them both down for a nap, and instead of sleeping 2 hours, one only sleeps an hour and 30 minutes. So do we leave them in there to just cry and whatever? No. Go liberate my hour and 30-minute baby. Try not to wake the 2-hour baby. And that way I have a half hour with just one little baby. So that is one way to deal with it. But I would definitely really not wake that other baby as much as possible. So one may need more sleep. But if you're noticing that the baby who's sleeping more is having more trouble sleeping or whatever, then you may want to, oh, thank you so much, Colgate, for throwing the information up there. So you may want to consider putting them on the same sleep schedule, but I think it's just such a great opportunity to spend time with just one little kid. That was just our life forever. Anna always required less sleep. So my baby A always required less sleep than my baby B. And still to this day, he still sleeps more than her. Like if we'll all be out watching a movie, like having fun, and he'll be like, all right, good night, everybody. And we're like, okay, thanks. Thanks for joining us for movie night, for family movie night. He just goes to bed. So now, you know, they're old, ancient children at the ripe age of 12. But he was always like that. He could go down so easily. I could put him in his crib. He slept from the womb pretty much. It was my baby A that's just the one that was like, oh my gosh, is this kid ever going to sleep? And she is still that way. She would stay up till 2 o'clock every night. And then every morning when I wake her up for school, she's tired. That's just the way it goes. So take advantage and watch their little sleep cues, and then you will know what to do. Now, let's talk about, for my new families or expecting families, let's talk about how we are going to get them onto a sleep routine. So when the babies are born in the hospital, they will start them on a routine that they are on a feeding routine, okay? And they will be fed every 3 hours around the clock. At around 1 month, then they're going to move to a 4-hour feeding schedule, okay? Once they're on a 4-hour feeding schedule, we're not going to worry about sleep. We're not going to worry about sleep because we got to get on our feeding schedule first. Then we're going to slip our sleep schedule in. So they're going to sleep right usually after they have a feed. They're going to take a little cat nap, maybe in their bouncy seat, maybe in their rock and play, maybe in their crib, wherever you choose. But the first thing you're going to do is establish your feeding routine. Then, shortly after, maybe 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, depending on what you are most comfortable with, you will really start seeing that the pattern will develop, and now it's your turn to nurture that pattern and get them on a sleep routine, okay? So usually they'll get up at 7, let's just say hypothetically, we're on a 7 to 7 schedule, so 7 o'clock they have a feed, they go right back in for a nap at 9. They sleep till 11, you wake them up, you give them a feed, and you'll see that these routines will start to develop. And it's all in the book, and it's actually all online too. So it's all on Twiniversity. Nothing, we never hide anything from you guys. You guys could get all of our information 24 hours a day. So we start the sleep routine, and the next thing that we have to do, and the biggest pitfalls, is we have to start practicing this drowsy but awake business, okay? So what we're gonna do is, when you see that they're like tired, right? So let's say, yes, I got it. When we see that, it's almost too late. You have to look for this. So the slow blink, right? So that's what, it's funny because I was talking to Dr. Weisbluth once upon a time, and he was giving a sleep lecture, and he was saying, you got to look for that slow blink. And I'm like, all right, Dr. Weisbluth, that's really fantastic. However, for you to catch that slow blink, it's really, really difficult. So you have, but if you do, then you put them in their crib because they're just tired. It's once they start yawning, they're a little overtired, okay? So if you notice that they're yawning a lot and then you put them in and they're having a lot of trouble, try to put them in a little bit earlier. So if you say, oh, you know, 9 o'clock is nap time, if they're overtired and they're giving you too much fuss, put them in at 8:50, okay? Yeah, so look, I love that everybody's chiming in about their little sleep routines. So practice putting them in drowsy but awake. If you could get them used to putting themselves to sleep, you will never have to worry about cry it out, gradual extinction, sleep lady shuffle, whatnot. Because if you could have them get used to sleeping on their own, then you will never worry about it. Okay, I think that it's prize time. Okay, prize time, prize time. Let's give away, what do we want to give away next? Did we give away a copy of the book? Let's give away another copy of the book, because I keep talking about the book and I keep talking about the schedule, that I want to make sure that everybody has them. So if you want to win a book I would love if you could just say, I want to win a book. It would mean a lot to me. Also, it is not required by any means, shape, or form. But if you could share this with anybody who needs the information, and Julie, if you could share this over on the national page too, that'll be fantastic, so we can field in a little bit more questions, because we do have a little bit more time. Even though I have more questions, I want to get them in. Okay. So if you want another copy of the book, then just let us know and Julie will give that away. All right, now, the next thing that I want to talk about is I do want to talk about a bedtime routine and how to start a bedtime routine. So if you have not developed a bedtime routine, I want to give you some little tips and tricks. You could do things like bath time right before. Oh, thank you, Colgate. So you could start with bath time. Bath time is pretty like typical, like nighttime routine. However, if like all hell's breaking loose at 4 o'clock and you need to bust out bath time, do what you got to do to get through the day. But a nice bath time routine in a perfect world would look something like this. So the babies just had their last bottle of the day, or the babies had some food, right? This is if we're talking a little bit bigger, post 6 months, but maybe around 6 o'clock, we give them a nice warm bath, preferably in the sink so we don't have to bend over and hurt our back, okay? So we give them a nice little bath, then maybe we put them on the changing table, we give them a nice little massage. That's funny, Kim West just messaged us and said it's not gonna work today. She's meeting with her coaches in Amsterdam. Thanks, Kim, we know, but we're still talked about you anyway because we miss you. So you give them a little maybe baby massage, maybe a little, baby lotion, anything that you like. Even coconut oil, as crazy as that sounds, is a great way to give the babies a little bit of a massage. Then maybe we throw on a little classical baby, which is one of my favorite things when the twins were little. We would put on a classical baby. Maybe we put on some music. I don't think we're going to do like Metallica or Megadeth for a bedtime routine, but I would do a little Josh Groban, I don't know where Josh Groban came from, but that's my random artist of the day. So put on a little bit of music and then give them their nighttime bottle. If you have to tandemly feed them, then yeah, tandemly feed them, because what other choice do you have? So you get your bouncy seeds, right? If you're bottle feeding, bouncy seed, bottle, boom, boom. You're feeding some babies. The other thing that you could do is if you're breastfeeding, clearly you have that down, Pat. I love a little Guns N' Roses, Danielle, so I don't know if you know, but that's actually my ringtone. It drives Julie crazy, but I'm a big GNR fan. But there's, patience. We could play patience for the baby, for their nighttime routine. I still do now. So you're going to give them their bottle and then you're going to put them in. Now, absolutely, you should put them in, right? We talked about our ideal sleep conditions. If you remember the ideal sleep conditions, shout them out because I want to see if you guys are paying attention. But it is dark room, white noise, cool temperature, swaddle. So you put them into their ideal sleep conditions, put them into their crib, and then you kind of just let them go. And you start either the extinction, the gradual extinction, or whatever. 68 to 72! I'm so happy for you guys. All right, so we have that, but that's what a good sleep routine is. Now, a lot of people read books. So they're like, oh, I'm going to put the babies in their crib and we're going to read Goodnight Moon. But you know what's funny? If you have, let's say you or your spouse has gone back to work and you have some briefs to read for work, or if you're a teacher and you need to grade some papers, why not use those as a little reading before bedtime, right? So what you could do is you just bring those in, and I always joke, like, you don't have to read Goodnight Moon for the 800th time in a row. You could read, Entertainment Weekly, Us Weekly, anything that's going to put the babies to sleep, because it's not the words that are putting the babies to sleep, but it's actually the rhythm of your voice, the soothing little vocalness of your voice. What is the word that I'm looking for there?
It's true.
That's what it is. That's true, Johnny?
It's the voice, not the words.
It's the voice, not the words. So I could sing anything to you, Johnny, and you'll fall asleep?
Only when I'm tired.
Only when he's tired. He still lets me snuggle him because he's almost a man now, and I'm lucky that I get any snuggle time. So enjoy every minute of snuggle time when they are little. But yeah, you could read anything that you have to, and I remember my husband would often read stuff from work, and when I was even in the NICU, with the twinnies, I would bring Entertainment Weekly, and I would just be sitting there. Yeah, let me tell you, pharmacy school briefs, that's got to be a good one. All right, so let's get to another question. All right, do we have any more questions? I cannot possibly keep up. So we did have a question. So the question was coming in that we had from a Twiniversity student, and the Twiniversity student was asking 1 crib or 2. This was like, you know, the monumental question of the day is, where should these kids be sleeping? So the American Board of Pediatrics says that your baby should be sleeping in their own bed and that there should be nothing in their bed, including their twin. However, right, this is always the crazy question, can they sleep together? I say yes, they can sleep together. So your twins are totally eligible to sleep next to each other, and your twins will actually regulate their body temperature and heartbeat off of each other. So if you're thinking 1 crib or 2, you could definitely think 1. I see, Jewel, I'm going to get to that. So I would definitely think 1, and that is what I would do. Now, we had another question that said, how long are crib mattresses good for? So if Colgate could chime in and let us know how good crib mattresses are. What a crazy day. That's now the doctor calling me about Johnny. All right, so I do want to say that Colgate has a lifetime warranty on their mattresses, right? So specifically, but it is only for the original owner. But I always say that if you're looking to buy new stuff, the only stuff that you should buy new is you should buy mattresses, car seats, and cribs are the 3 items that you need to buy new. It's kind of mandatory, right? So that's it. Everything else you could get secondhand, but I would strongly consider buying crib mattresses, car seats, and cribs as the new items. So I would love if Colgate is there, if they could chime in and let us know how good a crib mattress is for. And now when you also remember, when you're buying your crib mattress, you want to look for the crib mattresses that are maybe one side is softer for toddlers, but then a firmer side for babies. So think about that when you are looking to purchase your mattress. And you know, there's so many different mattresses out there. It's overwhelming. So there's gel mattresses, there's foam mattresses, and then there's coil mattresses. So you got to do your homework and find out which one is best for you. All right, guys, prize time. We are giving away the Contour Changing Pad. If you would like to win the Contour Changing Pad, all you have to say is, I want the Contour Changing Pad. Yes, that's a mouthful, but at least then we know that which prize you wanted to win. So go take a look at their website too. So our friends over at Colgate have made their like the granddaddy of mattresses, right? Which I love. And they also were telling me that they have a machine in their factory. And what this machine does is that if Colgate is on with us and they could throw in a picture, that would be fantastic. Hold on one second. Johnny, I have a water bottle right there, and when you hit the keyboard, it's going to fall. So could you just do me a favor and come back in 5 minutes?
I know, but you should, instead of saying it, the full name, you
All
should
right.
say, I want my CCP.
Well, CCP is a lot. Johnny's changing everything, so we can't do that right now. Johnny, because we already started. Okay.
Bye.
So just got distracted because I have my big bottle of water on my keyboard, and I just envisioned everything going down as he was trying to get the dog. So Jewel, oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, Colgate, their factory thing, which I have to say. So they have these feet that jump on mattresses, and it's the equivalent of a toddler jumping on a mattresses, and they invite all of the mattress competitors to join them at their factory and test their mattress out on these giant feet. And if Colgate has a picture of that, it's something that I have always wanted to see. So if you would like to win the Contour Changing Pad, all you have to tell us is that you want to win. And I want to once again thank you to our friends at Colgate for giving us the opportunity to come on and talk about sleep and have a little chat and answer some questions and have some fun. Wishing you a very belated but happy Mother's Day, and I always wish you the sweetest of dreams. So make sure you check out our friends over at Colgate, and if you are in the market for a new mattress or changing pad, you definitely want to check it out. And thank you so much, Colgate, for participating today and for answering our questions. And if you do find a picture of that jumping thing, I would love to see it, because I know that Alan always tells me about it, and it's one of those things that's like, I gotta see it to believe it. So thank you so much again. Thanks to all of you guys who are joining us today, and to the entire Mom Squad for making this happen. All right, guys, I'm gonna go take care of that little boy now. See you later, alligators, and sweet dreams.